Hello, welcome to another day of Choosing Joy. We're working through Philippians, and today I'm going to be reading chapter 1, verses 20 through 24. Paul writes, "For I fully expect and hope that I will never be ashamed, but that I will continue to be bold for Christ as I have been in the past. And I trust that my life will bring honor to Christ, whether I live or die. For to me, living means living for Christ, and dying is even better. But if I live, I can do more fruitful work for Christ. So I really don't know which is better. I'm torn between the two desires. I long to go and be with Christ, which would be far better for me. But for your sakes, it is better that I continue to live."
Okay, thank you. And so, interesting point here. And Paul's saying he'll never be ashamed. But in his letter to the Roman Christians, he writes that he isn't ashamed of the gospel.
Yeah.
But that's really not what he's talking about here, is it?
No, it really isn't. He's talking about being in prison. Prison, as we said, I think I mentioned it last week, prison really was kind of the lowest of lows. It wasn't something to be proud of.
Yeah.
It was one of the most shameful things that could happen to somebody. But for Paul, he's saying that he isn't ashamed of it because of what God is going to do with that that state of affairs for him.
Okay, well, so there it is again. Somehow being a follower of Jesus is kind of upside down thinking than from the world's view.
Right.
So for Paul, even a shameful experience like being in prison is actually an honor.
Yeah.
Upside down. And that's pretty much how this whole passage comes across. He saw it as honorable, something without shame. And I think it's time for us to really think about what that means. I know you haven't been in prison.
No.
But how has this aspect of following Jesus, been true for you?
I was thinking, I have been in prison, but as a visitor.
Okay, in prison.
I have visited people in jail. I think it's happened several times. One time was when I lost a job. And I can remember the conversation in Panera Bread vividly. It was at a time in my life when I became very angry, and my boss, a lot of people around me saw it. I saw it too, but one day my boss said, "Okay, let's go have coffee at Panera Bread." And he told me it was time to move on. And he did it very graciously, but I just got more angry throughout the conversation, and even afterward, I wasn't seeing the bigger picture because I was so tied up in my anger, or I was losing my picture of success and my pride. Right? And but sure enough, God used that moment to launch me into incredible kingdom opportunities. It took a while, had to really work through the anger, but that was really a turnaround point for my life. Now there's a lot more I could say about that, but it changed the trajectory. And I wish I could have. The only thing I wish I could have done is at that moment had that kingdom perspective. But I'm thankful that it came later.
Yeah, and that's what Paul. He's got that perspective, and that's really neat. And thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Okay, let's close in prayer. Jesus, we're all going through some stressful times right now. And as your people, give us your kingdom perspective, that even when the bad things hit us, somehow you're working out your plan, and just shape us with your vision. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you tomorrow. I hope from between now and then, though, that you have a blessed day, and as God be with you all. Bye-bye for now.